we're reporting international. Lara is in England right now. She's in London, England, the capital of the UK, spending Thanksgiving
In the
with
King's England.
with a dear friend. It's interesting to celebrate Thanksgiving in the place from whence we came.
I know, and you know what? After spending a little time here, I'm beginning to understand why Americans left.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's a tough time to be
But
there.
I will say,
It's the sun goes down
you
at
know,
noon.
everyone begins to wind down for the day at 12 p.m.
They go get their roast at the pub.
When you wake up in the morning, the clock is ticking like a time bomb to the sun going down within like 4 hours. So you really have to like get up and get out and get about your day to get a shred of sunlight. But that is actually highly motivating
It's
because
why
it makes you really step to it.
it's why everyone in London is in a hurry. Everyone's
They are.
everyone's in great shape because everyone's just running
They are.
around.
And you
And
know what? Everyone's very polite,
mm-hmm,
well mannered, and well behaved.
it's an
And
mm-hmm.
there's a real lack of like screaming and a lack of main character syndrome, which I do appreciate.
That's a really good point. And everyone is they despite what media has told us for almost a century now, I feel like Londoners like Americans.
I think they do. I haven't encountered any like ill will or bad attitudes. I've felt welcomed. Um,
They're a welcoming city. It's a welcoming country, I feel.
yeah,
It's a harrowing vibe in the fall at times. Just
at
spiritually,
times.
energetically, you feel sort of this copper sunlight just milky through the fog, and it's just a little suffocating, but it's kind of romantic.
When the light hits a certain way, it's gorgeous. Like if after a gray day, rainy, 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 then the sun comes out the next day, but everything's still kind of wet. There's still like dew on the grass and droplets, and the
Mm.
sun comes out and it doesn't rise high enough in the sky to like dry anything off. It literally is like just halfway up, but the light hits and you're like, this is what they were talking about. This is what Wuthering Heights is about.
It's
This is
fucking.
what they're on about, I said.
It's positively ancient.
Hmm.
What sights have you seen?
I've been to Hampstead Heath and walked the
Ooh,
Heath. I went to the Tower of London today, kind of where it
incredible.
all began.
Yes,
It's a bit London ground zero, if you will,
a great place for women, famously.
famously. I did see where Anne Boleyn met the axe,
Mm.
and I learned a lot about like medieval times, and that's a time that I have no interest in living. Like that seems really, really dark.
I mean, there was like a time I feel I've read and listened to many things about that era, and I believe the River Thames was like full of shit. Like
Oh,
it was poopy as fuck. It was a river of fucking poop for like centuries.
there's no bathrooms. You literally just go into a bucket. Hopefully, you have a chambermaid to carry it out so you don't have to deal with it. But if you don't, you're just throwing it onto the street.
It was a river. It was a river of shit. Chambermaids had a dark job back then.
Yeah, so basically your life, if you're a woman, if you're lucky enough to like live in the tower, which is not that lucky, your chances are you got married to some 28-year-old when you were 12 years old. Then you're just spending the rest of your life getting bred like a puppy, having like 17 children, and then eventually dying before you even hit like menopause.
Have you
Meanwhile, shitting in a corner and then not being able to like bathe and everything's stinky and your husband rapes you every night and you're just constantly pregnant.
Yeah, and then you die at like 30 of consumption.
Yeah, and then if you manage to survive long enough, he might just like kill you or behead you. or if he's fucking crazy, he might even behead you before you've even really had a chance to serve.
To be beheaded before getting a chance to serve is like one of life's greatest cruelties, and no greater place of evidence is the Tower of London. Have you been to Whitechapel yet?
Yeah, I'm staying kind of near Whitechapel.
That's where
So I
Jack the
was like,
Ripper.
I was staying, I know, I was staying in Shoreditch for a few days, and then now I'm in Benthall Green in
Mm-hmm.
Keith McNally's famed Benthall Green. Um, and when I was walking around Whitechapel, and I went to the London Dungeon, which is like a tourist attraction near the Eye, but they take you into all the torturous history of London, and it's like a haunted house where there's actors like pretending different scenarios, and it was really fun. And they also had you walk down a hallway where like animatronic people are throwing their chamber pots out onto the street, and one threw it into my face.
Oh my God.
It misted me with their pretend shit, and I
Wow.
said, "This is London." Yeah.
Ugh. I wish you could do. I don't. You probably won't have time and or interest, but I wish you could do a drive by of my where I went to college on Mile End.
Where is it?
It's next to Queen Victoria Park.
Oh, I'm right. I'm staying next to Queen Victoria Park.
Yeah, it's right on. It's right next to that canal where they have all the houseboats, and they all have little
Yeah, I was on
chimneys.
there.
Yeah, you probably saw it.
I probably think I walked by it last night, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Um.
It was gorgeous.
Thank you, Queen Mary. Go Queens! Not even know what the mascots are. Go Marys. Um. Well, how long left do you have?
Until Sunday.
So you've got a lot of time to really fall in love again and again in London.
I know, and I'm I had a lovely day today. And I had a lovely day yesterday. And I'm getting in the cozy spirit. It just like it took me a minute to adjust to sundown at 3 p.m., but now that I know what to expect, I'm like bouncing back out of that. I'm here in like the coziest house. There's a little fire in the hearth and a little dog at my feet. And, life couldn't be better. I saw the crown jewels. They sparkled.
It's pretty wild.
I said, these are stolen.
Uh,
Yeah.
have you gone to the National Portrait Gallery?
No, that's on my list, but I want to go to Victoria and Albert Museum.
Mm.
That's like higher up on my list.
Ugh.
Because like portraits are cool, but I'm like, it's a portrait at the end of the day. We'll see.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you're breaking bread with the enemy on Thanksgiving, and the enemy being London in England, not who you're with. You're staying with a really amazing person. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
You're
the one talking
you were like
yourself
this.
into the hole.
You were like,
I might have frozen a little bit. We're experiencing loads of technical difficulties today, and we're really doing our best. The lag has taken
the lag is fucking
Carey
foot
into a
fucking
new
me with its
dimension.
giant boot. The lag has its boot in my hole, and it's fucking lagging me to a degree that I can't even fucking talk about.
You can't even speak to the lag because it's lagging you so hard, but I beg of you, you have to get out of lag
Lagzilla.
mindset and just
Lagzilla
get
is
into like streaming. Have to get into stream mindset where there's
Lagzilla
no
minus
lag.
one.
The lag only exists in your mind.
No, doll. The lag is very much real as you sip your British water.
It's Italian, Pellegrino.
You know what was really interesting when I was there? I was always like, "Where's a fucking trash can?" Like I had to throw this shit out, and they got rid of all them because of the IRA bombings.
Yeah, they don't feature many trash cans, so it's hard to kind of find out where to put your rubbish. But I always find a way.
Well,
What?
I'm happy.
Anything?
Anything new? I'm having a great time here in LA. The weather's amazing. It's warm. Thanksgiving's tomorrow. I'm going to the Sunset Tower for Thanksgiving dinner. There's a great menu waiting. Like, I'm ready.
I love that.
Did you watch The Beast in Me? You said you watched some of it.
Yeah, I watched all of it. I finished it on the plane. And I kind of thought it was a flop at the end.
Yeah. I the more I went on after suggesting it, I was like, this feels like this sort of the beginning. They had like incandescent chemistry together, like this like hardened lesbian and this fucking piece of shit. Like, I loved them verbal sparring together, and then I feel like it got too like true crime.
Yeah, and I really thought that it was going to be like an explosive, like something different than we ever expected, and like go in down like whole new roads and pave new paths for the genre. And then it was just like, oh. And I felt like I had to finish it because I got all the way to the last episode, and I truly was one of those shows where I was like, I could take or leave this last episode. Like, I don't give a shit.
Mm.
But then I just felt like, oh, I'll fucking watch it. And then I did, and I was like, well, that was something.
And usually I'm all for a Claire Danes quivering lip moment, but I feel like they really went it. She took it to a degree where I was like, we need to ramp back the quiver.
She was quivering when someone would just be like, hello, and she'd be like quivering.
I In the first or second episode, there's a moment where he clears like an entire rotisserie chicken, and I for some reason I like popped into my head that it was gonna like I'm not lying when I say this. I swear I thought it was gonna take a supernatural route, and I turned to Simon and I went, "He's a werewolf," and he was like, "Really? I don't think so." Or I
I
like
don't think that
I
at
know, but I
all.
had this like moment where I was like, it's gonna do something so different, and he's gonna be like a cannibal.
You got like
I
bamboozled by this
know, I
show. You got
did,
fully bamboozled, indoctrinated me to
I
the point where I
did.
like downloaded it for the airplane.
Well, it
And then
has it
I was
all.
like,
It has like nice houses and like cozy creepiness, and Claire Danes just like being a mean lesbian. Like, I just was like, this is kind of everything I love.
it had a lot of promise at first.
Yeah,
But then it was like this couldn't even like no one would even be able to like get away with any of this.
I
Like
know.
none of this could even like really
No,
happen.
they're like, oh, he's a billionaire. I'm like, that doesn't matter. Like, I mean, maybe like some, but still, it was fantastical, kind of.
It became fantastical in a way that was like it would have been better if he had just been a werewolf.
That would have been kind of cool.
And that would have been you were like, the beast in me. I see where you're going with this.
You know, you know what you should watch when you're in London? You should watch American Werewolf in London.
Hmm,
It's a cozy British horror.
maybe.
Um, speaking of horror, Mary's son, Robert Jr., is officially going full all's fair with his wife, his now estranged wife, and they've filed for divorce. She has filed for divorce from him. This is coming off the heels of his arrest, where he's charged with a few things like trespassing and
He's like crawling in dog doors and terrorizing people. And now his like vape mistress of the night wife is taking things to a place of divorce.
she's consulting
And
with the girls at Glossier HQ.
she's met with Allura Grant, and they said, we're going to get you exactly what you deserve. And now she's divorcing. She filed.
She filed. He was arrested on November 9th and charged with violation of a pretrial protective order, criminal trespassing, property damage, assault on peace officer or military member in uniform, and failure to stop at the command of a law enforcement.
And this is after the dog door.
I think this might have potentially been when he trespassed, was like the dog door. That is so scary. Can you imagine?
No, the worst thing that could possibly come through a dog door
It's like a young
is
man.
a person. Yeah.
A young
It's like a
affluent
drugged out young rich man. Yeah.
That is like
drugged out son of like a potential cult leader coming through your dog door in the dead of night. No one wants that.
going like this. Can you imagine how scary that
There's
would be?
just something about like the top half of a person coming in through like clawing in through a dog door. That's very werewolf.
That's beast in me. Matthew Reese, who I was calling Jonathan Reese because of Jonathan Reese Myers. Matthew Reese, can you see him coming through Claire Danes' dog door going with his big fake veneers that he was wearing? Terrifying. So it's good for Mary that she doesn't have to have that girl in her house, but I think also really good for that girl that she can not be involved with the situation anymore because I think it's really bad. And probably good for Robert Jr. ultimately.
Even more of a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully he gets his shit together. Hopefully he consults that higher power.
Yeah.
Just his mother, I guess. And like calls on her to help him through to the other side.
He should. This is like where I know I shouldn't be a parent because I'd be like, if this was my child, I'd be like, you're going into the military.
Yeah, but
like,
he's too young.
For the military?
Or no, he's too old.
Yeah, he's old as fuck. He's too old
for her to force him into like military school.
Yeah. Yeah. He's literally like 23. He's old as fuck.
Yeah, but you can't like when you're young, under 18, you can still send your kid to like military school.
I think there's going to be, I'm predicting there's going to be a moment in culture where they try to up the legal age to 25.
Some young people would love that.
Young people love that. Young people love talking about like being groomed at like 27 by like a 29-year-old. So like it would probably give them a lot to be happy about because they can just finally be like, oh, I'm not legal yet. Like I'm still so young and like I can't do anything.
I'm still baby.
Yeah. So I think it might actually be good. And then Robert could technically be a minor at 23. Or however the fuck old he is. And then
Mary could send him into the military.
Yeah.
He honestly kind of should go to the military. Just, can you go for like a couple years? How long do you have to go?
I don't want him to have to serve in any foreign wars. I want him to just go and like just be not on active duty somehow and just get his shit together.
Yeah, I want him to go like get off drugs, get a clear head, learn some discipline, get hot, and then leave. I think that men should be allowed to do that. Like if they are willing to, then they can like be a security guard or something for like a couple years. But you should be allowed as a man to go to the military just if you don't have your shit together. Like you should be like able as a woman or a parent, but mostly as a woman, to like sign men that you know up to go to the military just for the purposes of getting disciplined, getting hot, and like getting their shit together.
Without the risk of like PTSD or CTE where they come home and like kill their families.
No, not serve, not like go into battle. That's for like people that want to be there, who like are willingly like not going there for the purposes of getting their shit together, getting disciplined and getting hot. Like this is for just like childlike men. This is for like men, like weaponized incompetence men and like men who find themselves under the motherly care of like a wife or girlfriend. Then those men can get nominated for tribute. They can get nominated for 2 years of military school or camp or whatever it's called. And they just have to do like a lot of jumping jacks and marching. They learn
Climbing
how to
over
make a
things.
bed.
Yeah,
They learn how to clean things, honestly.
tight
Yeah.
corners, whatever that corner thing with the beds that they do in boot camp.
Learn a little responsibility, get ripped, learn how to like wipe their own asses, and then they can come home to be a
Yeah.
security guard for a couple years.
You're
Um,
obsessed with a security guard.
I just think it's like a job that not a lot of people want to do, but we do need some security guards in places. So it's like, why not just pipeline these men? It's an act of service. So we can pipeline them to like security guard-esque
Yeah.
places where they're not equipped with any guns. They're not going to be fighting anyone, but they're training and learned responsibility over their military nomination will then be put to good use like public service, and then they can like it's a 4-year program total is what I'm proposing.
The
It's
movie
2 years in the military, then 2 years security guard.
the movie Failure to Launch starring Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew McConaughey is actually about her putting men into the military to clean up their acts.
This is
The
a truly a great
It's a great
idea. If
idea.
someone is listening in the government,
Implement
like
this.
you're welcome for this genius idea.
There's that church that I live next to is like abandoned right now, but another religious organization is moving in there. But for the time being, it's like being sort of reclaimed by the earth. And they have a security guard that once in a while patrols. And I see from the dog run in my building, I see like flashlights like waving around. And it's really eerie because it's a giant empty church. It's very spooky. And I always think like that job is probably a little eerie at night when you're a security guard at like a big post and you have to like patrol the grounds in the dead of night. I would be terrified.
Yeah. Perfect job for a security guard who just came from his 2-year military nomination.
Hmm. Well, speaking of churches, let's get into this episode.
Yeah.
I'm Carey,
I'm Lara,
and you're listening to
and
Sexy
you're listening to Unique Military
Podcast.
Nomination
Salty
Program.
Utah Lags. I'm we're coming this episode begins like shortly after Mary's church got out, so it's still that Sunday or whatever the fuck day it is. And I was thinking how amazing it would be if this entire season took place during that service.
Yeah, it would be an extent like the rest of the season just takes place in her church.
Yeah, that day, that Sunday, like some just like a Magnolia type situation where it's the longest day ever.
Somehow in that day they all go to Greece for like
Hmm.
many days,
Yeah.
but it is still in that day.
So Lisa and Meredith are driving to lunch.
Yes, they're driving to lunch and they are still in a place of folie à deux
Hmm.
together.
Lisa goes, Mary's church service was beautiful. And Meredith goes, so nice, so beautiful. I was like, you guys are fucking crazy.
They're crazy.
You're out of your
Lisa's
goddamn
terrified
minds.
of Meredith.
She's so scared of
Yeah,
Meredith.
Lisa is shaking with fear. Claire Danes lip quiver fear at Meredith bringing the axe down on her, so she's willing to do anything and ride for her queen, whatever it takes.
She drives her driving is very fear-based when Meredith is in the car. You can see she's like gripping the steering wheel. Meredith is in the position of power in the passenger seat. And Lisa is reverting to little middle sister.
Exactly. She's exhibiting total fear-based driving. They go to Valter's, which I was so happy to see.
Honestly, it was like it felt like coming home. The red carpet is laid out again. Mary's having another luncheon. This is the second luncheon she's hosting. The first time since her incredible iconic lunch in the season 1 5 years ago, or 2019 I guess. And she is ready to put it all out there at Valter's.
And Valter is no longer with us, unfortunately, but it
Mm-mm.
was great to be back. And also I just love like a nice lunch post church on a Sunday.
Mm,
Like there, that feels really good. It took me
yeah.
back to like post church luncheons growing up and I have a soft
Yeah.
spot in my heart for them.
Yeah, I felt like a Holy Communion, like first Holy Communion luncheon. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
When I got my first Holy Communion, my parents wanted, they were like, "Where do you want to go for your lunch?" And I said La Campagna, which was a French restaurant that was like in an old farmhouse, and it was giving Valters.
Sounds beautiful.
Um, Mary has beta fish as party gifts.
That was an interesting choice.
Well, she had them. I think she mentioned them or in that famous lunch in season one. So these are all like Mary's doing like a whole like Mary's lore. She's doing a best of Mary. She's making it all about her and her fanfare. I'm by the way, I'm fully alone in this studio right now. I love it. Everyone's
There's
gone.
no one in there. Where'd everyone go? They've left. They've flown the coop. You're all alone. I was like, something has happened with him. I was like, he's something's going on there that I can't see that's really throwing him off. I'm glad to know that it's everyone left the room and you've now been deserted and you're
Hey,
speaking into the void.
let's just get back to it. So this is like a Mary's. This is kind of like It's a Small World if it was about Mary.
Hmm.
That would be a great ride. Just Mary's life.
Yeah.
Her
Mary's life from the daughter of like a
charismatic church leader.
Pentecostal dynasty,
Yeah.
yeah, to marrying her step grandfather, to becoming God herself, to being on a reality show, to almost being like canceled because your church that you are the leader of may or may not be a cult, to then like a triumphant comeback. I want to know what happened in the years that she was not on the show.
She was getting, I think, if it's possible to be de-lobotomized, she was getting de-lobotomized.
Hmm.
Funny how no one is talking about that TLC special.
Like in general.
I don't see any chatter about it really on social media. Like that day it came and went, and I'm like, they really thought they did something there, and they did it.
I think TLC is often thinking that they are doing things, and like the thing that they do best is like 90 Day Fiance and
Sister
various
Wives.
spin-offs and like Sister Wives. Yeah.
I kind of like it was. It's very much. I'm like, you really thought you ate, and unfortunately, you stepped to God, and this is what happens. And those people,
I'm trying to think like what explosive like documentaries like TLC doesn't like reveal greater justices or like greater injustices and like pull back the curtain in like an explosive way.
no,
I'm like,
it's
you exploit really like unfortunate looking people for other people's entertainment.
they regularly exploit people who don't have a lot of money and are like mentally ill and like spending their life savings like flying to the war zone in Crimea to go find their fiance who they literally chat with paying by the minute. And
On
that
like a Russian website
and
that
that
they
man
have to
by the
access
way
with a VPN.
is now dead. Like this is what's to
He
come.
is?
Yeah, he passed away. I don't know
How?
how. I don't know. But I don't think he like took his own life, but I think he was just sick. But these are not like these
Life
people.
kind of took him.
Yeah, I mean these people are not like they're very exploitative. So like
Yeah.
them doing this is just very rich. And like sure, I'm sure Mary's church is like unscrupulous in many ways allegedly, but and there's shady shit going on, but every church like that is shady.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'll say it 1,000 times. If you are in Mary's church and you're experiencing it as a cult at this day and age in the year of our Lord 2025, That's on you, babe. You have internet. You live in Utah, in America. There's internet everywhere. There's ample abilities to Google. Like, you don't have to be in that church.
No.
Like, you simply don't. And so, if you're not getting your shit together and figuring it out, like, I don't have much sympathy.
Period.
Unless you're like a child and you're chained in the basement. But
Yeah.
I don't think that that's the case. But
Unle-
if it comes out in the great TLC reckoning of 2025, then we'll see. Maybe I'll amend.
if you're a minor, if you're under the age of 25 as a minor,
Hmm.
you have all my sympathy.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's on you. Um, so everyone arrives, and then the last ones to arrive, Lisa and Mary, the gruesome Terrance and Phillip, fucking arrive last. And Angie goes, "Oh, Mary, look, your guests are here." I was like, oof.
I thought Angie was going to be explosive during this luncheon. But then, and I actually thought like more people would be explosive during this luncheon, but everyone was just like very subdued.
I think Mary called her and said, "You're not allowed to get amped."
She said, if you open your mouth during this beautiful luncheon at Valter's, you're cut.
She said, "If you open your bobblehead Greek mouth during this showdown, I will be really upset with you." And Angie's really trying to get back into Mary's graces post Fartgate, so she's like, "Fine, I will."
Yeah. She said, called her up in the dead of night, and she said, listen, little girl.
Interesting though that Mary has kind of become like the grande dame of the show.
It was always meant to be.
Everyone is very deferential to her. Have you noticed?
Hmm.
Mary, they all sit down and Mary goes, "So I just want to, right off the bat, I want to acknowledge that there is someone that's not here. Brittany is, of course, not here because she told me I was unchristlike on the yacht trip and I didn't want her at my church. So I called her this morning and I said," and we've cut back to her and she's like, "Brittany, I need to tell you I'm not inviting you." And Brittany's driving and she starts to kind of tear up and she goes, "You said I was ungodly. And I feel very disrespected by that. And I can't have you in my place of worship." And Brittany's like, "I understand. She goes, that was really mean of me and I'm very sorry, but I understand."
Mary consulted then her dog, which I don't think we've seen this dog,
He's,
but I said, it's a true boodle. And her dog, she's asked her dog if she should invite Brittany or not. And her dog said, hell no.
the dog looks like a pit bull or some kind of mix, like a
I think it's a
boxer.
bulldog.
What a fucking cute dog.
He's a baby.
So Brittany's not there, but she said she feels like some sort of solace and clarity with Brittany. Like they've reached an understanding. They might not like each other, but like they see each other. And she goes, "So I think if Brittany can apologize to me and take ownership, then we can all come together here at Valter's and take accountability."
That's true. But unfortunately, there will be no accountability taken at Valter's or really any other time in the near future because Meredith is truly one of the craziest people I've ever seen.
Heather goes, "Oh my gosh, that's a magical sentence, Mary. Lisa, are you listening to what Mary's saying about accountability?" I was like, "Ooh." And then Lisa goes into this bizarre place of repeating almost in the same tone as Heather. It's like she can't think of a good comeback, so she just goes, "Oh my gosh, are you hearing what Mary's saying?" Like she almost is like replaying the words she just said out loud, which I was very interesting to see how she processes.
Yeah, and I think she knows that it's the end of the line for how much denial she can be in about this
Hmm.
situation. So now her only course of action is to just repeat what people say to her.
It's mania. It's Terrance and Phillip mania. And I saw her pothead just flapping up and down as she says, "Oh my gosh, did you just hear what Mara said?"
She unfortunately didn't hear anything during the flight. I had my headphones in. I was listening to Kendrick Lamar.
I know. Well, so Meredith goes, She goes, listen, she goes, we have not all discussed what happened. I was venting on the plane. I was crying to a friend. And then Whitney goes, it was in earshot, Meredith. And Lisa goes, it was all to me. It was all to me. It was not to anyone else. It was to me. It was to me. She confided in me. Brag.
Total brag.
And then Meredith goes, I was talking to her for maybe 30 minutes. I watched 2 movies and then I slept. And then this is an incredible interrogation that happens. These women lock in and they are doing a literal test. Like, she is testifying on the witness stand in this moment, Meredith. And every woman is the prosecutor.
They go, what 2 movies did you watch? And she goes, I watched...
Lisa goes, Crazy Rich Asians. We watched Crazy Rich Asians.
She goes, yes, I watched Crazy Rich Asians. And Whitney goes, how did it end? And she goes, I simply don't remember.
Angie goes, what happened at the end of Crazy Rich Asians? And then Lisa goes, what? Are we actually doing this? And Meredith is incredulous at Angie's question. She goes, I don't remember. Do you think I remember? And I was like, this is the most honest question she's ever asked. Because she's basically telling Angie, bitch, I don't fucking remember yesterday. Like, you think I'm going to remember that? Are you kidding me? Let's not play this game.
I've never remembered anything in my life.
Of course I don't remember. That was great. I actually love that.
And I believe, like, she said that she didn't even remember the second movie that she watched. They were like, what was the second movie you watched? And she was like, I don't know.
I don't recall.
And Angie goes, how would you not know what movie you watched? And she goes, do you remember every movie you watch? And she was like, yes.
I know. Meredith is like living in a world where like she's living in a world where like the majority of people don't remember things after like a day.
Meredith's living in a world where she like blackout verbally abuses people and then sends cease and desist afterwards when it was all documented, and then tells herself, if I just keep saying this never happened and crab the narrative, it will simply go away. And these women are like, no,
they're like, I remember. Yes, she goes, Crazy Rich Asians has a really big ending. Like, you should remember it. What happened? And then Lisa goes, okay, well, I remember it. He comes on the plane and he makes like a big thing and like the plane stops and he's like, no, we should actually get married. And then it like, this is like a ticker of every moment that she recalls. Is it right? She passes 3 out of 4.
Yeah, she does a great job, like, having Meredith's back in this moment, but the damage is done. And I said, Meredith, you're buried. Why are you doing this? It really pissed me off. Meredith is pissing me off now.
Oh, yeah.
Take the L. Take the fucking L. Own your side of the street. Just be like, yeah, I screamed at her and I like bullied her. And it was crazy. And sorry, she like pissed me off.
Meredith has never taken the L ever.
No, it's a huge character flaw.
Even in her apology later to Britani, she doesn't take the L.
No, she's admitting nothing. Britani is just like, unfortunately, too weak to like really stand up for herself. And I think that she's just happy to like have more camera time. And Meredith knows that she will kiss the ring.
I know, like, it's wild that to know at least 1 or 2 people like this in your life who like never takes the L. Like, to move through the world where you just, it's just wild to me. I've never seen anything like it though with Meredith. She's on another level. She's
like denying what multiple people witnessed and like can corroborate happened. Plus, like, probably denying what an entire crew of people who are also in attendance and just not pictured on camera also saw happen. And is rewriting history with one Lisa Barlow.
She's on, like, the Supreme Court of denial. Like, she's literally a Supreme Court judge in the Department of Denial, the Ministry of Denying.
It's shocking.
It's really wild. She goes, look, I'm sorry Britani heard me vent and was upset about it. I was like, oh my God, you are the attorney of the century.
She'll never admit.
And then Heather starts talking to Lisa and Meredith. She goes, Okay, well then why didn't you guys go through customs with us? Huh? Like we literally picked Meredith, Brittany up from her chair and like carried her through customs. It took us so long. How come you guys, if everything was fine and you guys were like still with us, why did you literally separate and go your separate ways during when we got off and deboarded the plane? And Lisa goes, I actually have global entry, but I didn't realize it.
So, but then was she in customs with them or not? I'm like so confused.
Yeah, I think they were like I think they were led away by production and brought through like a special, like, I think they were, sounds like they were just like brought through global entry to get to sort of separate the group.
I'm just like confused why people just like didn't go hard. I feel like Valters and Mary were mostly to blame for this like civilized conversation, but I'm like, I don't accept this.
Yeah, I wanted the same kind of mania from, was it last season where like Angie's like standing up at the dinner table and like basically ready to go. Like
I want fervor.
I want fervor. I want claws out and like throat slit.
Yeah, I demand answers. And this really kind of left things in a place of kind of same, where it was like, Meredith's like, I don't know what you thought that you saw, but whatever it was not true. And I vented, and then I slept, and I watched 2 movies, and I had a great flight.
And then Angie starts pressing Lisa again about customs. And Lisa goes, look, I needed space. I had my AirPods in and I was listening to Kendrick Lamar. And then Mary goes, not Kendrick.
Don't bring him into this. She was, I'm a Kendrick girl.
Yeah, I love him.
Like,
he's so amazing.
Baby. That's my baby girl.
And then Whitney gets dragged into she gets dragged by the kicking and screaming into the mess.
Oh yeah, because so Bronwyn said that she went behind Whitney's back, had lunch with Meredith to like tell Meredith that Whitney had told her that she had seen Meredith drinking.
Yeah, so the topic of Meredith's drinking and like substance issues is like finally talked about. And Wild Rose met with Bronwyn, as we know, and then Bronwyn reported back, as you said. And then so Meredith goes, well, apparently, Whitney, you were talking behind my back. And then Whitney goes, I have not said anything behind your back. That was entity. It was the entity that did, not
the
I.
Entity.
I was not me. And then Meredith goes, I guess I have misinformation then. And Wild Rose goes, there is only one person I vented to who could have told you. And then the camera cuts to Bronwyn, and you just hear Mary off screen go, uh-oh.
But I was like, God damn it, Bronwyn. Like, just when I think that you're on the right side of history, you weren't even there. It's also like, this is none of your business.
She wanted to insert herself in the drama because she missed it.
And she wants to be like the arbiter of, she wants to hear both sides and then be like the judge.
Her face, though, when she's caught, like you saw her turn red and she goes, I'll tell you who told you. It was me. I was like, oh, she was busted.
She had to come clean.
Meredith goes, I do not have substance abuse issues. I was like, okay.
Okay. You're like, say the ABCs without falling asleep. Or like slurring.
Count back from
literally do a sobriety test.
Yeah,
just follow my finger without moving your head. Like Meredith, maybe that is what it is that they're really getting to the bottom of like, oh, Meredith is actually like really fucked up and like is blackout at all times and doesn't remember anything she does, so we need to like tread lightly because this is a much larger issue.
Whitney goes, I'll tell you how I feel, Meredith. She goes, I think it's 3 things with you. 1, you have hatred in your heart. 2, you have an anger problem. And Meredith goes, I don't have an anger problem. I was like, The yeller. The yeller.
The yeller doth protest too much.
She goes, 3, or you have a problem mixing substances. And then Meredith moved in a way where I was like, she's going to get up and leave. But she didn't. She stayed in her seat.
She was caught.
Mm-hmm. So
Whitney's out here doing important investigative journalism.
I know, I loved 1, you have hatred in your heart.
Whitney's on a show, a network of her own called CN Entity, where the entity asks the hard-hitting questions. She has been a mouthpiece for the entity.
She has a segment where she goes through people in American culture who have hatred in their hearts.
She has an earpiece, like they do in the news with a little squiggle, and the entity feeds her questions to ask to Meredith.
She goes, this just in. She goes, have you always have hatred in your heart? And tell me, when did you think it really began, if not always?
Or do you just mix substances? Or do you have an anger issue?
Wild Rose should be on The View.
She honestly should. She is willing to like say things.
I would love Wild Rose to be like the new Barbara Walters and like go interview, you know, exiled dictators and like people acquitted of murder and like do the real tough interviews.
All she has to do is tell Entity what she wants, and Entity will make it happen.
Especially for her, he's its greatest emissary on earth.
Mm-hmm.
So we cut to this one moment, and there's a full Muzzy jump scare after the lunch, and I literally went, wow!
I wasn't ready for her to be back.
Bronwyn goes, surprise, I'm not an American citizen. I have dual citizenship in Brazil and the UK. I was like, whoa.
That's international.
My thoughts were mission work.
Brazil?
Yeah.
But you can't... Mission work, you don't get a passport.
No, but if you're born in the country, you're a citizen of that country.
Oh, like her parents were doing mission work and then she was born in the country. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying like she got like a passport just
no.
to go
No.
do
I
mission
think
work.
she was born in either, I forget what she said, either the Brazil or the UK, and then they moved to another of the places and got citizenship there.
Yeah, that tracks.
She goes, all my siblings have American citizenship, Muzzy, and I think it's about time I do.
Muzzy's like, well, you were a huge mistake.
She goes, you were an oops. Muzzy was on better behavior this episode, though. I think like she got feedback already while they were filming. Like, you come off like an absolute horror, so you have to be a little nicer.
Yeah, I think she started to understand like, like I really let her rip on a show that many people watch. Like, I feel like Muzzy just found out about just the Real Housewives franchise and how popular it is, and was like, oh shit.
My theory is that Muzzy in her dark heart of hearts thought that the audience would agree with her somehow. Like, that's how fucking polluted her brain is from all this weird like religious indoctrination, that she's like, oh, they'll agree with me that my daughter's a fuck up and like take my side.
I think she has hate in her heart, or she thought that everyone would agree with her and she would expose the truth about Bronwyn TLC style, or she literally thought Bronwyn was like on some show that no one had ever watched and no one's ever heard of, because Bronwyn's like such a loser that like why would she ever be on any popular TV show?
Yeah, she was like,
or all three.
I think it might be all three. I think she was like, yeah, they'll agree with me that my daughter is a teen horror forever.
Yeah. She's like, even whoever watches this show, this like Housewives of Salt Lake City show, I don't even know, I'm going to go on there and just show that my daughter's been a whore from day one. And they're all going to love me.
Day one horror. That's her agenda.
Day one horror. Let's go.
Heather shows off her new office, which was it was an ad for Wayfair. She goes, her daughters go, wow, Mom.
I saw it.
Everything looks so amazing. She goes, can you believe it? I got it all at Wayfair. I was like, this is Truman Show.
No, I literally, from the second I laid eyes on that office, they were like, wow, it's so amazing. And I was like, that's so hideous looking. And in my mind, I go, I bet it's all from Wayfair. And then 1 second later, she goes, thanks, it's from Wayfair. And I was like,
I don't know Wayfair.
Wayfair has some good stuff. What if we segued right now into like a full Wayfair app? Like do like a full like inserted, embedded ad. No, I think I think I've purchased something from Wayfair, like a dresser. They make stuff. It's weird. It's a weird mixture of some stuff they have that's really expensive, and you're like, where did this come from? But then some stuff is like really cheap, but like kind of designed furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Wayfair have like kind of a Pizzagate scandal where people they had a scandal in the past 5 years where people were saying that like children were sex trafficked in like Wayfair boxes. That was like a whole thing.
I mean,
But
truly, we've
now
been through
Wayfair
it.
is doing like huge, I know, who hasn't been accused of sex trafficking children
In
in
our
boxes at
in
this
our
point?
in our country, like
What
every
corporation?
yeah.
But Wayfair has now done these like huge media buys across like Bravo and I think like podcast ads TBD if we'll get one after this episode drops. But I was just it's a very some I think Wayfair does have good things that you can find on there, but you really have to look and most things that you find on Wayfair have a very Wayfair look to them is all I'm gonna
Mm,
say.
you're not saying anything either
Maybe go
way.
to IKEA. Maybe just like go to IKEA. But Meredith got all of that shit for free. And then probably just returned it and then actually outfitted her office with the furniture that she craves.
Then we cut to Terrance and Phillip getting mani pedis, and Meredith is sitting there with her boot still on, and her other like Tory Burch high boot, not get decidedly not getting a pedicure.
Mm-mm.
And then you hear off screen, "Hey, Mare," and it's Lisa come barreling through.
Lisa flies in. She has one nail that's like fallen off, and she's like, "Can you just fix this hand? It's driving me crazy. I had a nail fall off." And she's getting like a full pedi. And I have to say, her feet looked really gorgeous.
She takes really good care of herself. Her tanner was like melting off though.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do in this world.
Meredith is, of course, mostly upset about Whitney at this point because Whitney has pulled the rug up.
But also, it's so predictable because the moment that anyone, like the moment that Meredith is actually kind of caught for something, she does just default to, I'm going to blame Whitney.
Yeah.
But her old tricks aren't working anymore. Everyone knows exactly what Meredith is up to, and no one knows it more than the Wild Rose.
And honestly, no one knows it more than Lisa. But Lisa's just choosing to kind of, she's drawn her own line in the sand, and she's like, they have a dark alliance.
They do.
Lisa and Brittany meet at a bar, and Brittany has like, they're having like a lunchtime beer. Brittany's beer is literally the size of like a baby. It's so big.
It was like a boot.
It was a true boot. It brought me back to my days of like drinking like 8 of those at an airport bar and like popping a Xanax before a flight. Not 8, like four giant blue moons in a boot, and then just taking a Xanax and just being on like a JetBlue flight. Like, whoa.
No, it's like a party. It was a party boot beer. It's like a 48 ounce.
Pint. Lisa goes, yeah, I'm really sorry about what happened. I know that was really bad for you. And Brittany goes, it was honestly the 6th worst thing that's ever happened to me.
I don't, and kind of want to know like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I want her to do
They're
like,
all Jared. She's like, number 1 was when Jared broke up with me. Number 2 was when I broke up with Jared. Number 3 was when Jared broke up with me after I broke up with him. Number 4 was when we got back together and I had to break up with him again. And number 5 was throwing up on the boat. And number 6 was this. No, number 5 was my unicorn from Jared being thrown overboard. And number 6 was this.
it's so like, I want her to write a thought catalog article. The 10 worst thing that's ever happened to me. And it's just a countdown of all the bad
Yeah,
things
she
in her
should
life.
work for BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which like I still see BuzzFeed has articles out, and I'm like, whoa. So
I thought like
strange.
it stopped existing.
It
But
feels
like for some people, there are people out there that like check BuzzFeed regularly.
it's so the click it's just gotten so much more. It's so weird. It's been like distilled down into this like strange like robotic clickbait that's just like so weird now.
But the BuzzFeedification of the universe as we know it, like Vogue does BuzzFeed type of articles. It'll be like 48 thoughts I had while watching, like,
Wicked for
and
good.
just like that.
Yeah.
No, it literally is. And one of them will be like, those shoes. Am I right? And like that will I'm like, you're writing for Vogue. Like this is Vogue.com.
Andre Leon Talley
This is print me.
would be just
No, Andre Leon Talley, like
rolling in his grave.
rolling in his tomb
Yeah.
while you go 65 thoughts I had while watching the trailer for Devil Wears Prada 2.
One,
Click clack.
oh my god. Two, can you? Three, even? Question mark. Four, bangs. Five, holy jumpsuit.
5,
Holy pinstripe
elevator.
suit. 5, elevator.
No, it's scraping the bottom of the barrel for content. They're like, can you muster up like 72 thoughts? And they're like, okay. They're like, the best I can do is 38. And they
They're
go,
like,
do
all
I
right.
publish it?
Fucking publish. Here's 80 grand a year.
Yeah. No, here's like 35.
I know, I'm
35K a year. 80 grand. I'll bet there's no one at Vogue that makes 80 grand a year. Baseline salary.
Oh, I thought you were talking about BuzzFeed.
No. I'm talking about Vogue. I'm saying these articles are now on Vogue.com.
I know.
They're doing BuzzFeed articles on Vogue. 80 grand. I'll bet like everyone at BuzzFeed makes minimum 80 grand.
I know, that's what I'm
Vogue,
saying.
You're making
BuzzFeed at its heyday, people were making like 6 figures. Yeah, Vogue is like,
Vogue, you get paid in like dust that's accumulated under a desk. You get like an envelope of dust bunnies, no health insurance, and like
a chicken bone.
35K. A chicken bone and like a drink ticket for the Met Gala that you're not invited to.
Oh, I have to take that back. Ooh, sorry, I have to take that
They go
back.
on a drink ticket and they go, oh my God, for the Met Gala? And they go, yeah, ticket table if you want to get a seat at the table, it costs you $25,000 minimum. But we're full, so all that's left is actually $500,000 table for the company. Are you in? And they go, no. And they go, all right, I'm going to take that back.
Yeah, they go for the Met Ball. Oh my God, I'm invited. Are you invited? I mean, not yet. Oh, okay.
No. Oh, you bought a table? That's amazing. They go, no. And they go, thank you. No, when you work at Condé Nast, you open up your bank account to see what was direct deposited for your paycheck, and instead of a dollar amount, it just says dust.
By the way, Condé Nast, please write an article about
I'm sorry, but if you work at Condé Nast, you know that that's true. You literally have checked your bank account and you have seen dust in there. You check your bank account.
You're like, how does this even happen? Like, how is there even dust in a digital space? Oh, it happens. They go, oh, you work at Condé Nast? Yeah. Well, this is what happens.
I'm looking here and like I see like some strange deposits. Like one was for like pickle juice, and they were like, oh yeah, that was April's. They just deposit like whatever is left over in the fridge, and like whatever is dust is swept out under the desk. They go half-eaten Fahe yogurt.
How does this work?
Like, yep, that was for March. They go, honestly, we ask ourselves that every day.
So then they cut back. That was a flashback, and they cut back, and Meredith goes, I just feel very badly for Britani. I'm like, bitch, you fucking did. You caused this.
That's rich. Mm-hmm.
Then there's this weird moment that I was like, I don't want to see this. Whitney drives a U-Haul over to Heather's to get rid of Heather's like marital bed that she shared with her ex for 30 years or whatever, no, 20 years. And Heather does look cunt. She's wearing like a really fun like funeral outfit, like Death Becomes Her style, to get rid of this mattress as like a final closing of this, her old life. And they go up and get it, and it has the amount of stains on it. I'm like, and Heather goes, "Oh, don't show those." And I'm like, "Please blur them out, sirs, ma'ams."
No, this was horrible. This was like her bloodstained mattress that she said she's had for over 20 years. I don't think you're even supposed to have a mattress for that long.
Yeah, what was that red stain? That had to have been
Probably
blood.
period.
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 And Whitney goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "Are these cum stains?" I'm paraphrasing. And then Heather goes, "Oh no, there's no sperm on this bed." She goes, "God doesn't like to waste, and I was a good Mormon." I was like, "Oh my God."
All right. I said it. Period.
And they're
But yeah,
driving
I didn't want to see that.
when they're driving in the U-Haul. I did like seeing them driving a U-Haul together. It was very sitcom to me. And
It
then
was like simple life.
Whitney's like, honestly, she goes, "Honestly, Meredith, the way Meredith is when she's on substances, it reminds me of my dad." And I said, Diane Warren mentioned.
Eyes.
She goes, "For so long, my dad wasn't an addict. Well, now we look at that and laugh."
You know it's bad when Meredith is reminding you of your dad who looks like Diane.
She must have, she triggered something. I think she really triggered Whitney's. I mean, she says as much, but I think she was, the adult child of an alcoholic was triggered.
And then we get another like Muzzy mention. The Bobsy crew is all together. Bron, baby Bob.
Well, first, Brittany goes to couples counseling with her daughter, and
Yeah.
I go, she's really milking this plane thing now. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you got one episode of grace. Now I'm like, all right, Britt, you gotta. I like, she's really. I think what Meredith did was really shitty, and I'm glad that she was confronted. But now I'm like, Brittany needs to kind of come away from that a little, because now she's like, I'm still hurting from the plane. I'm like, Brittany, come on.
Not hurting too much to like go and film like a big apology scene with Meredith.
So Brittany and her daughter go to therapy, and the therapist is like, "So what do you guys want to get out of this?" And then Brittany goes, I don't really know what to say. There's just so much. And Olivia's like, "I'll say, my mom got remarried, and she started paying more attention to my stepdad's children because she thought that would curry favor with him more. And she wanted to be locked in as a wife and not have to go through divorce again. So she kind of abandoned my sister and me for about 7 years and paid more attention to my step siblings." And Brittany's like,
Now we said it.
"Damn."
She's like, well, when you put it like that, it does kind of sound bad. She's just very insincere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do hope that this leads to Helen, but I'm also like, will it?
Brittany just starts crying, and she goes, "I just don't feel like I'm deserving of anything. Like, I'm not even deserving of these sessions. Like, because the therapist is like, Brittany, I also want this to be like constructive and healing for you, and I want you to break away from this trauma. Sounds like you both have a lot of it." And Brittany's like, "I don't deserve it." And then her daughter goes, "I feel the same way, Mom." And then Brittany goes, "What? What do you mean?" And I was like, okay. Like, competitive. She was like gatekeeping. "I'm the only one who can be unworthy. What are you talking about? You've had a great life."
But also just very telling. You've
Mm-hmm.
literally passed that same exact feeling down to your daughter.
Yeah.
It's sad.
So yes, we go to a bonsai-making place, and the three Bobs are in tow. Muzzy, Bronwyn, and Gwen/Gracie Abrams.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm just always so thrown by the Bob energy betwixt the three that like I was put into like a trance basically. I was also watching
Sisters.
this in the back of an Uber, and I was like slowly starting to like nod off from being in an Uber for almost an hour in traffic.
So here's how it goes down. So
They're bonsai
they're
vibes.
bonsaiing, which I was like, this kind of looks nice. And Fuzzy Muzzy is like she's on her best behavior in this moment, and she's like, look, Bronwyn, I'm really grateful for the mansion that you've let me live in and like crash with you, but I need to get my own place. Bronwyn starts tearing up and she's activated and she's like, you're abandoning me. I don't want you to leave. Why do you want to leave me? And Muzzy's like, I don't want to not leave you. I just like, I need to have my own space. Like, I think you and Todd need to have your own space, which I'm actually like, this is probably good. And
This is great.
Bronwyn's just like making her bonsai, and she's like, okay, I mean, now everyone's leaving, and then this one wants to leave, and then Gracie Abrams is like, yeah, I really want to go to Portland. I was like, oh.
That was a shocking twist. I go, pray tell why?
She goes, well, Mom, like you wanted to be independent, like you wanted to move to New York. And then Muzzy goes, and then guess how that worked out? No, she didn't. That's just what I'm in my head.
But yeah, Bron is like codependent with her mother, with her fellow Bob twins.
She's like, I've never been alone. I went straight from childhood to going to school for like a month before getting pregnant, and then I've just always had Gwen. So like I don't want to be alone with my fart husband.
Yeah, the house. She's like, the house will smell.
The house will smell. He holds it more in when you guys
You
are
know,
there.
that's because you let your dogs. He probably does. They go, no, it smells because you let your dog shit all over the floor. You have 8 dogs and they poop everywhere. And she goes, "Oh, I know. But
Oh,
come on.
come on, Muzzy, don't have to remind me that. Todd is literally going to cause like a mini ice age with his farts.
No, he is. It's global. Like, I saw a news article today that was like the ozone layer is like almost repaired. Like, it's going to repair itself. Like, great news. But all Todd has to do is like eat a bowl of chili, and the ozone, he'll blast the ozone back into a state of permanent disrepair.
It's going to be repaired. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like repaired. I don't know. I saw it go good. I didn't read it.
Good.
I go, good for them.
Muzzy starts crying, and I go, I don't trust these tears.
No, I don't. I go, you're still going to the home. And then finally, do we reach the end?
We reach the end where it's like the ending of the movie Creep, where Meredith is waiting in a full Hellraiser, like Trinity leather ass suit, waiting by a lake in gorgeous spring. I was like, she's also not wearing like that much makeup. She looks really like stripped down as well.
No, she's trying to do the Britney strip down.
But you can't
who
in
is
that
just trying to
outfit.
do the Kim K strip down. No,
You
can't
literally are
come
Trinity.
next to the river dressed like a fucking dominatrix from the year 3027 to have like a conversation with a woman that you terrorize.
So Brittany comes in and Meredith goes, "Hi, Brittany," and they just like make amends. And Brittany's like kind of groveling. It's honestly, it was sad to watch because you see
I said
Brittany.
you're better than this.
Brittany Foley just like grovels at the feet of Meredith because she wants approval from one of the OGs, and Meredith goes, "So yeah, I'm sorry that you heard me talking to Lisa on the plane, and I feel terribly that I hurt your feelings because you heard me." So she's basically like, it's your fault that you listened to me.
Yeah, she's still like doubled down
Yeah.
on her original take.
Brittany goes, "Wow, I mean, this could be the start of something new." And Meredith goes, "Exactly." And then she goes,
Then the music goes. They raise up and it goes.
Meredith goes like, she picks up a payphone and she goes like this. And then she gets sucked into the
Brittany goes, she goes, exactly. And Brittany goes, exactly.
That would be great. That would be awesome. If they like,
do need to duke it out. They need to fight to the death.
Brittany takes out a gun and then, yeah, Meredith goes, Where? Down. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na.
Chemical Brothers starts playing.
Yeah.
It's like
And then Brittany does like she walks like does that thing where she circles around like the hallway like shooting and the bullets are just like in a circle.
That is how they need to settle this once and for all.
It's the fastest. We realize Meredith's actually moving so fast at all times, and her slowness is because we can't comprehend the speed.
Because Meredith is existing in the lag.
Yeah.
Because she's moving at a speed faster than humans or recent technology can even start to comprehend. And Meredith might usher us into the future.
Yeah. When I used to watch The Matrix as a kid and I didn't understand like temporal differences, and I was like, they keep talking about how fast he's going, but he's in slow motion every time. I was like, how does that work? This is Meredith.
Oh, I still didn't know that. I just figured that out.
Yeah, when
right
he goes
now.
like, it's because he's like so fast that he's like, you're seeing in like his.
He had to slow down so we could see him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see where things go. I'm excited for Meredith to get called like a pill popper.
Me too.
Drunk.
I can't wait for Grease.
I know, and I just hope that people really start taking her to task because I'm sick of the denial.
Me too. Deny. Well, doll, thank you for beaming in from London.
Thank you for having me. I apologize for the sound quality of this episode on my part. We had severe technical difficulties, but we overcame them.
You was
and
great.
We're able to deliver. So I will see everyone back in the stew for next week's huge Vanderpump Rules New Generation premiere.
Guys.
As well as next week's SLC.
Start spreading the
news. Things are happening.
VPR is back.
Will it be good? Will it not be good?
Remember to share the premiere podcast for Vanderpump. All things Vanderpump Rules is SUP. So you need to spread the word. We're back in action.
Yeah. The original podcast about Vanderpump Rules is indeed Sexy Unique podcast. It's in the name. It's in the DNA. I've been there. Actually, it was Pumped Podcast, which was kind of in the name and in the DNA. But then that DNA changed into SUP, which it bore the same DNA. But don't worry about it. All you need to know is that this is the podcast to listen to for
Geniuses.
The front line. His little snores. The front line.
He's passed out on your spot.
Oh, sweet angel. I'm going to let you go so you can read the cult.
Okay.
And I will see everyone next time.
All right.
But
love you, doll.
I will see everyone next time. But I'm just going to keep the phone on.
Okay. Alex Delisle, Ash Kelly, obviously, Brittany Rindham Weiss, Brooke Johansson, Butternut Posh, Kara England, Kathy West, Danielle from the Brim, David from Switzerland, Diego and Darian, DC's Tom Ford couple, Drew from Toronto, Drone, Emily Vaughn, Gina Sapienza, Happy Birthday Daddy Ethan Robertson, Jess, Katie Sulin, Katie the Sup Lawyer, Kim Lucas, Kyle Vest, Lilia Farrell, Lucy from London, Lara from London, Maloney Martyr, Mariah Kay, Mary, Matthew Thomas, Million Doll Hair Baby, Mr. Brandon, Modern Counseling McLean, Virginia, Mazel Tov Lals, Nadav Haviv, Nick Sedaris, One of the Dolls, Orlando, Owsley Robinson, Patron of the Farts, Pratama, RJ, Ro Rosengarten, Sarah Elizabeth from Boston, Sex Unique Gandalf, Teddy the Schnauzer and Tony and Mango's Cult, and the Marchesa Casati. Thank you for our continued patronage from you cult members and everyone on Patreon. And everyone who listens to us, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. We're so grateful to all of you, and we love our readers, and we love all the dolls, and you make gratitude plentiful this holiday season. Bye-bye.
Sexy Unique Podcast is created and hosted by me, Lara Marie Shanehalls, and co-hosted by the inimitable Carey O'Donnell. This episode is produced by Sierra Pavia. The audio and video versions are edited by Morgan McDonald. Production and post-production services provided by Bad Ladder. Additional production assistance provided by Jen Shad.